All right, so we'll go ahead and open up the Wednesday, September 11th, 2024 regular meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. If we could have a roll call to establish a quorum.
Good morning. Member Aquino?
Here.
Desmond? Frost?
Here.
Kaplan?
Here.
Karpinski Costa?
Present.
Kennedy? Here. Maple? Orozco?
Here.
Cerna? Here. Talamantes?
Here.
Tao?
Here.
Villegas?
Here.
And Hume. And you do have a quorum.
Very good. I am here as well. And so
I'm also here.
Did you not get called?
I don't think so.
Director Maple?
I did. Thank you, Director Maple. I did count you as here.
Got me. Awesome. Thank
Well, since she's so eager, let's join her in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's do
please.
it. Sorry, I didn't know my mic was on.
All right, salute, pledge.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Now, if the clerk would please read the Metro Cable statement and the public comment procedures.
This meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and AT&T cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Sunday at 9 a.m. on channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/MetroCable14. In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, compensation for meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County Supervisors and City of Sacramento Council members is paid to the county and city respectively to partially offset the costs of those governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. To make a public comment, please complete a speaker request form and hand it to the clerk. The chairperson will call your name when it is your turn to make a comment. You may also send written comments by email to boardclerk@saccounty.gov. Your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record. And that concludes the clerk's statement.
Thank you so much. All right, that brings us to our first items of business, which are the consent matters, items 1 through 7.
I do not have any public comments for, and there's no one in chambers for public comments for consent items.
Okay. Very good. I have a motion from Director Talamantes, a second from Director Kaplan. Anybody have any discussion, questions, or comments? In that case, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The consent calendar passes. That brings us on to item number 8, which is comments from the public for items not on the agenda. As was noted, there's no member of the public in the audience, so we'll dispense with that item and go directly on to item 9. And we do have some updates, I believe.
So I just wanted to let you know that our September 25th meeting is canceled, and our next meeting will be October 9th. And that's it from us.
Okay. And we send our thoughts to our district engineer who is recovering from surgery, and that's the reason for his absence. And so hopefully you're feeling better and getting better, Christoph. Thank you. All right, item number 10, if the clerk would read that, please.
Item number 10 is the Harvest Water Program Quarterly Report for April 1 through June 30th, 2024.
And the item is up. Thank you. Good morning, Chair Hume, members of the board. My name is Mike Crooks. I'm the Harvest Water Capital Program Manager. Today, I'm going to give a little presentation along with Joe Phil, give you some updates on the Harvest Water projects and the program in general. This is related to the item which is the quarterly report, second quarter of this year. However, the presentation information that I'm going to share is a little bit more updated than that. I figured we'd want to know what's going on beyond July, actually beyond June. There we go. So just real briefly, we'll go over the capital program updates. We'll touch on program financials, and then we'll follow that with administrative program updates. On the capital program side, or CPMO, just a reminder, this is a list of the projects that make up the capital program. I'm sorry?
I'm signaling behind you, sorry.
Oh.
We will note for the record, Director Sherry Pulapati is here.
Yes. Good to see you.
Okay. I thought I had something. So again, these are the projects that make up the capital program of Harvest Water, starting with the pumping station at the Echo Water facility, followed by the Elk Grove transmission pipeline, which will be completed in 2 different construction packages, 2 different segments. That'll take us to the southern edge of the city of Elk Grove. That's where the Franklin-Eschinger Pipelines project takes over. And then connected to that, we've got the Central South and the West pipelines, which are more distribution mains as opposed to transmission. And then finally, we've got on-farm connection assemblies. Again, we anticipate that'll happen within at least 2 construction projects, depending on how things go with getting grower agreements executed. Just a brief look at the schedule. The top part of this schedule is related to administrative program activities, and the bottom portion is the capital side, the listing of projects. You can see, for the most part, we are through the design phase of these projects. There are still a few that are wrapping up design, namely the on-farm connections and one of the segments of the Elk Grove transmission pipeline. So we're heavily into construction right now. And so I'll just touch briefly on each one. This is the Harvest Water Pump Station. Contract award was in January of this year. Contractor mobilized to the site in June. So far, they've been active in utility potholing to identify utility locations to make sure that we identify and deal with any conflicts. They expect to start meaningful construction later this month, starting with some excavation. And completion right now is slated for early 2027. The Elk Grove transmission pipeline, again, 2 different segments, 66-inch diameter pipe, 5 miles of it total. Segment 1 is about 1 mile of pipe on the Echo Water facility property itself. We separated that from the project to do it later because we had issues with the railroad crossing at Sims Road. We have modified our crossing design and have been in touch with Union Pacific, and we've got early indication that they will approve this new design, and so we expect to get that permit very soon. And so with that, we plan to advertise that project later this year towards the end of 2024. Segment 2 is the segment that's currently under construction, roughly 4 miles through the city of Elk Grove, going down Franklin Boulevard and Willard Parkway. They've been active since early this year, getting ready, a lot of potholing and a lot of work with the city of Elk Grove with respect to traffic control. And in August, they actually started construction. They shifted traffic in Franklin from Laguna to Sims. All traffic is over on the west side. Both directions are now on the west side. And this week they've started excavating for the tunnel activity that's going to happen underneath Laguna Boulevard. A little bit later on, we'll actually start seeing open trench construction within the roadway. That segment's due to be completed in 2026, as is segment 1. Franklin-Eschinger, this is just south of the city of Elk Grove. This was our first project that was awarded. Construction on that started in February of this year. They're currently working in a few different areas. Primarily, they're on Franklin Boulevard, making their way south. They're currently south of Hood Franklin Road, making their way to Core Road, at which point they'll head east. Within that segment, there's also a trenchless piece of work that needs to happen underneath Stone Lake Creek, and so they're getting prepared to do that. And then separate from that area, they're also over on the east side of the service area working on Eschinger, more towards Highway 99. They're making really good progress. They expect to be complete in late 2025, when actually our schedule had them finishing in 2026. So see that these guys are doing really well. Central South Pipelines, this contract was awarded in January. The contractor has been kind of slow in actually getting to construction. They've got their field office set up. They've done a lot of material procurement, a lot of fencing installation. All these, for the most part, all these projects have to have environmental fencing up if they want to perform work after September 15. And this is specifically for giant garter snake protection. So there's actually a race this week to finish that work because the deadline is September 15. These guys do expect to start construction a little bit later this month. Their first area is going to be on a road called Camp Road. It's a road off of Bruceville, just opposite of RCCC. And then after that, they'll move into Bruceville Road. This project's slated to be completed in 2025. The West Pipelines, this was the second project to get going. It was awarded, it was towards the end of last year. They started construction in March. There's a few different areas where they've started work and they've actually had to pivot and go to other areas. But right now, they're really active on Franklin Boulevard down by Twin Cities, between Lambert and Twin Cities. Lambert Road, they're trying to finish that up right now. We had hoped that that would be open by the end of last week, but that did not happen. So now we're looking at next week. And once that happens, we think travel in and around that area, particularly the Point Pleasant community, will have a better time getting in and around, getting to Twin Cities, getting to I-5, getting to 99. This is just a summary of the miles of pipe that we have to install, and it's separated by project, and then also at the right end is combined. So the different pipeline projects are listed. Elk Grove Transmission Pipeline, we have 5 miles of that. 0 have been installed so far. But as you can see, the two that are making progress, Franklin, Eschinger, and West, they're making good progress. Central South will get going soon. So far, we've got over 6 miles of pipe put in the ground. It was kind of a slow start. They are gaining momentum, and we expect that to pick up as we continue. This is an exhibit that shows the areas where pipeline segments have been installed. That's the green bolded areas. So they're, again, kind of scattered around the area. Yeah, not much more to be said about that. Finally, the on-farm connection assemblies. These are the improvements on the grower's property that will control delivery of water to their farms, to their irrigation systems. We've got over 120 grower connections that need to be constructed. Again, this is going to be done in multiple phases. The first phase, the designs are close to done. We're basically now waiting for the execution of the grower agreements because this project cannot be constructed without those agreements in hand. With the agreements also come the easements that we need to put those facilities on those growers' property. So phase 1, depending on how the agreement rollout goes, we expect to advertise that in early 2025. Complete construction in 2026, and then the timing of the next phase or phases is just unknown right now, at least a year beyond, I think, where we're at today with phase 1. So with construction comes a lot of issues, and we've been very active in working with these issues, a lot of effort on outreach and coordination with the folks out there with respect to traffic control and impacts to the private properties out there. We've got a very strong communication team. They put the word out in a lot of different ways, different formats, through emails, through direct mailers, one-on-one communication, particularly with some of the businesses down Franklin Boulevard that are going to be impacted. We're actually going door to door and talking to them with the school district, with the busing services, with the mail department, or U.S. Postal Service, with trash collecting services. So it's an ongoing thing. We're doing the best we can. We know that we're not perfect, but with feedback that we're getting from the community, we're able to modify how we do things and hopefully improve. So again, this is just...
Hang on just a second, Director, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry to interrupt your presentation, but on the subject of outreach, are you also working with the Farm Bureau by chance?
Very closely, yeah. They actually have been involved in the program development since the start, and one of our big advocates. Through them, we've been able to make a lot of really great contacts with the community out there. So yeah, they've been a very positive force on this program.
Thank you.
Again, with construction comes a lot of road closures. We're trying to manage those so that we're not boxing people in. We've had some issues come up that we didn't anticipate. One particular example was at a certain location on Point Pleasant where it crosses the railroads, there's double tracks. Union Pacific would have to park a train and wait for another train coming in the other direction before they could proceed. That effectively blocked one of our detour routes for extended periods of time. Amazingly, Union Pacific has been really great. They've now agreed to, when they have to do that, they actually decouple their train, separate it so that that crossing stays open. That's really been positive. So just stuff like that. Again, we pivot and modify our approach in response to what we're hearing from the community and what we're seeing out there. Again, the last bullets are just the tools that we're using, website, map updates, which are on our website, news articles, social media, direct mailers. We are continually building our database, property owners and contact information so that when it's time to put out an update that we're hitting as many people as we can. And so that hopefully will continue to grow as we keep implementing the projects. This is just an example of the road closure map that we have on our website. So you see the portion on Franklin, that's south of Hood Franklin Road, over on the east side on Eschinger by Highway 99, and then on the south side, we've got Franklin and Lambert currently closed. Again, Lambert hopefully will open within the next week, but every time I see that, something happens. Program financials, this is an old slide that you've seen, but there is a new piece of information on there, and Phil may touch on this a little bit further, but we have secured additional grant funding from the state, and so I'll just leave it at that. There's another $3 million, so that definitely helps. And this is just our projection of costs for the program and versus what we're actually spending. We are underspending right now. Part of that, I think, is because construction started a little bit later than we had hoped, but still construction prices came in much better than we anticipated. So we are definitely underspending. That red line that goes up top represents roughly the end of the second quarter. And so as you can see, we're definitely getting into higher expenditures as construction continues to ramp up. And that's all I had, unless I can come back for questions later.
Okay.
So I'm going to hand it over to Joe Phil.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning, Chair, Board of Directors. How are you
Welcome.
doing?
Is this your first time presenting for us, Joe Phil?
It is my first time,
I
sir.
thought it
Thank
might
you so
be.
much. I've had a great honor and pleasure to actually following Ms. Terry Mitchell's footsteps. Big stilettos to fill, to be honest with you. Over 30 years of service to the board. And so shout out to Ms. Terry Mitchell. Thank you for your service, but also for your retirement and giving me the opportunity to actually transition here. Really appreciate the opportunity. It is my first time presenting here, Chair. So a big shout out to the Planning Commission staff, because I'd actually never know how exciting it would be to be on this side of the dais. So normally on the right side of the dais there. But I am here to present about the Administrative Program Management Office, program updates and highlights. As you are all well aware of, our project is the largest agricultural recycled water project in the state. And as part of the Watershed Investment Program elements, the contracts for the administration of public benefits are what we call the CAP-Bs. That is what made our program very competitive for close to $300 million of grant funding. We've submitted the first annual reports to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. If you recall, a few months ago, former manager Terry Mitchell actually explained to you all the depth of negotiations that we've had to do with Fish and Wildlife to be able to actually really show the ecological, environmental, and economic long-term impacts of this project to the state. And that report was provided to CDFW as well as the State Water Resource Control Board in April 2024. Side tidbit, our team actually with our executive management team visited the California Water Commission yesterday to meet with outgoing director Joe Yoon and to actually talk about, working together at addressing the funding gaps that we have for this program. And so we met with CWC, but also our final funding agreement have been working with finance to submit our reimbursements. Our first invoice in August 2024 was submitted and finalized for $11 million, and number 2 was drafted and also submitted to CWC just earlier this week for $13 million. Outreach, landowner and tenant partnerships. So we work with a number of very active consultants as well as community champions, both that reflect the farming community and agricultural community, but also the local businesses south of the county. We continue our field visits to inform locations for the recycled water, especially with the connected turnouts for the landowners, really where it is in their properties or in their parcels that's going to be impacting their day-to-day lives. And we've also looked at continued groundwater level monitoring at existing private groundwater wells, and to outreach for landowners for new monitoring well locations. We are deeply committed to really increasing that water table as we've agreed to with the state for this project. We've also began targeted outreach for the earliest landowner agreements required by our eco plan by the CAPB agreements. And so you have a number of landowners that have specific parcels that would be used for vernal pools, for the migratory birds, as well as other specific location in which we would have the least amount of, hopefully, resistance, but the largest amount of benefit in the time period that's given to us by the state. And our team also began procurement packages for eco-plan implementation, such as small things as native plant procurement, fencing, as well as answering questions that we may have from the landowners. And so we not only go out to the community, talk about the ecological benefits, but our team also discusses to them what would be the economic benefits for us to essentially have a longer term relationship or a lease to your property, whether it would be not used for specific crops during the winter, if it's going to be good for the local ecological, and also provide them that compensation to make sure that we made the farmers and the agricultural communities whole. So what's the near-term look ahead? And so we want to concentrate outreach effort on our recycled water service agreement execution. As you are all familiar, the success of our product actually is dependent on the number of our landowners and our farmers and our agriculture community really using the water and looking at our recycled program as their main source of pumping. And so we will also begin installing additional wells for the compliance of our CAPBs. We have to complete and submit the Harvest Water Title 22 engineering report for distribution and use to the Division of Drinking Water, DDW. And we will have to complete and submit the notice of intent for regulatory permit from that regional water board. Now, some upcoming board actions that you may end up seeing Mr. Crooks and I in the future. We have to update our or present our eco-plan landowner agreement templates. The customer reimbursement framework for on-farm improvements for use of recycled water. And so that would be all of the irrigation materials that would be post our OFCAs. So the things that the actual farmers and the agricultural folks who own the land will actually see as the water essentially drips or flows to their land. Our Administrative Program Management Office Consultant Agreement Amendment. We would also be advertising the Elk Grove Transmission Pipe Segment 1 and OFCA Package 1, as well as additional CPMO consultant amendments for services during our construction. And with that, I'd like to invite Mr. Crooks back to the dais, and we're happy to answer questions.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
I do have some questions, and I'll do some of this in open session, then maybe we might want to set a briefing, offline in the near future. I've been hearing rumblings from some of our potential contract users relative to our use agreement, specifically having to do with access agreements and easements, to whom those should be extended, to what kind of notice should be required or allowed. The signage on the property, they believe that ought to come from SACSUR, so it's consistent, has a consistent look, consistent verbiage, rather than them having to supply their own signage. Issues around the domestic, I guess, well, I don't know if it's domestic animals, but anyway, the fact that this water cannot be used for providing water to animals, if that includes irrigated pasture for grazing purposes, et cetera, et cetera. And so the overarching thing that I've heard is that there is kind of pervasive attitude that maybe these are country bumpkins and they just need to be talked down to. And I just want to express that farmers are very intelligent business people who deal with contracts on the regular basis, and so they should be treated appropriately. I'm sorry, Director Desmond, did you have a disagreement down there? Oh, okay. All right.
I'd be happy to respond to that, Chair. And we actually definitely hold our farming community partners and agriculture partners in high regards. In fact, during this exercise, one of the reasons why we've taken a little bit of time to re-review and reanalyze our agreements is because we've been able to actually take a look at the draft agreements on their perspective and their point of view, especially because they're the ones that are being impacted by the project. And so things like the easement or the right of access, that is something that we've been able to not only address in our current version that's up for circulation for executive management to approve, but that's actually feedback that was received by our farming community champions, folks from the California Farm Bureau, to say, look, this is what we feel our neighbors or community members are going to be comfortable about. Let's go ahead and meet in the middle and edit the language so that they feel comfortable about providing us access, as well as having that longer term relationship where they feel like government would not be overreaching with our responsibilities. So duly noted, sir, we actually heard and worked very closely with those champions and really incorporated their edits both in the agreement as well as in the rules and regulations. Now, you also mentioned about the sign. We have a very active communications team led by Ms. Nicole Coleman as part of our executive team. I've actually at about our 5th or 6th reiteration of the draft OFCA signage. It might not be ready yet for prime time to share with the board, but it does follow the Water Reuse California practices. A lot of it's going to be in purple because that's what we've seen in the state. We've visited several different agriculture communities that do use recycled water. That seems to be the template. But we've also spoken with our farmer partners and say, okay, if purple's not going to be working, what would it be? So there's going to be a couple of options in which Sac Sewer is actually going to be happy providing them those signage for their OFCA. So that would be something that would be put with their on-farm connection assemblies, but also it's a little bit of our marketing that we're doing too in positive communication, because we want the community members to know that not only is recycled water safe, but we've been doing this for over 4 decades now in California. And in fact, this is, again, a bountiful benefit for the community. The next thing you had mentioned, sir, outside of the signage is some of the concerns that were brought up by some of the farming communities when it comes to the rules as well as the longer term relationship that we would have with them. And so that's actually still part of the, not just the discussion, but the agreements that we've had. We crafted the agreements so that it's flexible enough and give the authorities for both the district engineer, but for the board to also shift and change should climate or things change in the future. And so allowing that adaptability and flexibility with our rules and regulations really provides us with a good framework to say that we're able to shift with the farmers as they're needing for things such as a drier season, or if we have other ecological challenges moving forward that we may not have been able to foresee. Because this is a longer term, decades-long relationship with the farmers, so we want to make sure that government works for them, but also that they see the benefits in lieu of them having to pump groundwater on their own. So that's kind of a long-winded.
Sounds like you're working on it.
It is, sir. Kind of a long-winded answer, but I wanted to make sure that we're addressing those concerns. And we don't think they're country bumpkins. They're very smart, and they're very sound business people, and actually having them take a look at our rules and agreements on a different perspective really does help us, because we wouldn't have been able to see that point of view had we not gone to them in the first place.
Thank you. Thank you. And I mean, obviously the importance that goes without saying is without their willing participation, we've installed a bunch of big pipe for nothing, because we need their willing participation to receive the water for mutual benefit, and they need to have that sense of comfort that this is a mutually beneficial relationship that's going to last a long time. Director Kennedy.
Thank you, Chair. Just a real 30,000-foot level question, and that's regarding the farmers and the growers and those that we're asking to connect. Is there an economic impact to them, be it a benefit or a detriment?
I'm happy to answer that as well. I don't believe that it would be a detriment, Board Director Kennedy. In fact, what we've endeavored to do is actually make them whole. And as you have already may have alluded to prior to this meeting, there is a very competitive pricing for the water. Now, for the easement, that is something that we've already had to discuss with the farmers and the landowners.
Yeah, the easement, I'm not talking about the easement.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
the
totally
easements.
different subject. But I mean, I'm just, once they have connected, are they going to see a benefit, or is it a neutral impact?
I believe they're going to be able to see the benefit. Now, just to your prior question, they wouldn't be paying for any of the OFCAs or on the on-farm canopy exemptions, as well as the irrigation post OFCAs. But yes, we do believe that there's going to be a benefit for them. We're going to be able to provide them with a very competitive price water. I think that we're also outside of the leases that we have for winter crop growing, where they're going to not be using the land, so that we can use that for the migratory birds. Yes, that's something that we're also going to be paying for them. But essentially, and I'd like my colleagues to also speak on this, compared to other places where they're going to be taking that price of water, I think that we're just making ourselves a little bit whole, and it's still below market. Director Ewart?
Yeah, hello, Chair, members of the board. Mike Hewitt, Director of Policy and Planning. Just a couple add-ons to that, or what the impact of the farmers will be. It's not an impact, it is a benefit. We'll be able to offset, we're going to provide that water basically at the same cost as it costs them to pump the water. And then we're also going to, the water in the area is going to be recharging, so it'll make it more reliable in the future, and they'll have more access to more water in the ground, as well as that they need to use that. So they'll have redundancy, 2 water sources, same cost, and their groundwater will be recharging.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. And by the way, country bumpkin isn't necessarily a pejorative term.
You didn't grow up in Elk Grove. All right, any other questions or comments, concerns? No? Thank you very much for the report. We appreciate it. All right, on to item number 11, please.
Item number 11 is to receive and file supplemental biosolids harvest update.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Ecowater Director of Operations, Sonny Lundy. I'm going to give just a brief update. There's no action required by your board today. The district engineer actually has board delegated authority to approve goods and services contracts for the supplemental biosolids harvest that we're doing. However, we felt it was important to update your board and provide you information about the ongoing biosolids challenges that we have. As you may recall, the Ecowater upgrades required by our discharge permit have caused an increase in biosolids at Ecowater and a need for supplemental biosolids processing and disposal. In April of this year, an update was provided to your board on the initial supplemental harvest efforts and the need for future supplemental harvest efforts. In May of this year, Ecowater completed phase 1 and phase 2 of those efforts by removing and disposing over 12,000 dry tons of biosolids. Currently, staff is preparing to advertise a request for proposals for phase 3 and phase 4 supplemental harvest. We are seeking a 2-year contract with options of extending. We're looking at targeting 14,000 dry tons per year. The annual cost estimated that was presented to your board back in April remains $13.5 million. This represents about 10% increase in the annual treatment and recovery operations budget and is already included in this year's fiscal year budget and the long-term financial plans approved by your board. In addition to these immediate efforts, we are also evaluating long-term solutions for biosolids disposal, and we expect to report back to your board in the summer of 2025 on those efforts.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? All right, hearing none, then that, I believe, brings us to the end of our separate matters. We will note the communications received and filed, and it has been suggested, and I think it's a great idea, that we adjourn today's meeting, recognizing all of those that lost their lives on September 11th and the brave work that our first responders do every day. So with that, we are adjourned.